Gentlemen, Antonio here. All right, today I'm going to talk about the 5 rules that men can follow to make sure that they wear a ring properly. Many of you guys, you're perhaps getting a family heirloom. Maybe you're just graduated from college and you want to wear your class ring. Perhaps you're about to get married and you've never worn a ring before and you're wondering, how is this going to fit into my wardrobe? Gentlemen, these rules are for you, and once you understand them, you can bend them, you can break them, you can use them as you wish. Now, let me just start off really quick with my wedding ring. I wear it on my right hand, and it is the number one question I get on YouTube comments. I have people go through my contact form. They're, Antonio, do you flip your videos? Why are you wearing it on your right hand? What's the reasoning behind it? The story is, in 2004, married my wife in Kiev, Ukraine, in the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, and for a year and a half, wore it on my right hand. Came to the United States, and it wasn't until I didn't even think about it really until people at my MBA program were all asking me, Antonio, why do you do that? Why do you do this? And it's kind of funny. Now I enjoy it as a conversation starter. I know my why. Gentlemen, use these 5 rules so that you can send a statement, so that you can enjoy wearing rings. All right? So rule number 1 is understand that any ring you wear is going to send a meaning, whether it be engagement, whether it be wedding, whether it be affiliation, whether it be a sign of wealth. And yes, historically, rings were worn to show wealth and your position in society. Understand that every ring you decide to wear on your hand, because of its prominent place on your hands, people will see it. People will make a judgment. Now, if you're out interviewing and you like to wear a lot of rings, maybe one that, you end up looking like a mafia godfather, understand that if you're interviewing in a conservative industry, the person interviewing may not say anything, but you're basically at the mercy of their judgment and their personal beliefs. And that's the thing with rings is you've got to understand everyone's got an opinion about them. Most people, hopefully, are open-minded, but many people are going to have their prejudices, their stereotypes, and they may pigeonhole you into that. So understand rings send a message. Understand what yours are sending. Point number 2, have confidence. In any ring you're going to wear, make sure you wear it with confidence. So you're going to be wearing maybe a family crest. It's been handed down to you. Understand the history. Understand how you can wear it effectively, and then do so. So family crests, they actually traditionally were worn on the index finger. You can wear them on the ring finger if you're not married. You can wear them over on your right hand. And today, I'm not going to get into hand sides. Guys, I've got a support article here. I'm going to go into more detail on that particular subject, so go check it out. But guys, remember, wear it with confidence. You may be asking, Antonio, how do I do that? I've never worn a ring before. I'm in a conservative, maybe part of the world. Okay, so start wearing it for yourself initially. Then wear it around friends and family. Maybe it could be a class ring that you're just not used to wearing. You're about to graduate, let's say from Annapolis at the Naval Academy there. And so start wearing it around your friends. Wear it in an environment where it's going to be accepted. And then you could start to wear it out. The key with wearing a ring, especially one that goes beyond wedding rings, is to wear it with confidence. And then it becomes a conversation starter. Now that takes us to rule number 3, which is basically proportion. So pay attention. If you have large hands, you can wear larger rings. Smaller rings are going to look a little bit off on you, but if you have smaller hands, you're going to want to avoid overly sized rings, especially if you're getting one handed down to you, or if you're going to get a class ring. Those tend to be a little bit larger, maybe one if you're part of a Mason's Lodge or something like that. Just make sure that you go for one that is going to be in proportion to your hands. Smaller hands, smaller rings, larger hands, larger rings. Pretty simple. Now let's get to balance. Balance is different than proportion. Balance is actually wearing pieces and wearing jewelry in a sense to balance out. So if you're going to have one ring, maybe consider wearing your watch on the opposite side. If you're going to bring in another ring, I could probably add a ring over here. And then if I could even have 2 rings on this side because I'm wearing the watch. What you want to avoid is having your watch, 5 rings on one hand, and then the other hand completely without anything. So that goes with balance. Bracelets can help with this. Just understand that it all works together, and that takes us to rule number 5, which is matching metals. You don't have to exactly match metals. Some guys decide to go for a ring that actually has a bit of gold and silver in it. Me personally, I'm a silver man. I would say I'm cool toned in general. I can look at my arms and I can see my blue veins in here. That to me is an indicator. Also, I naturally have always gravitated towards silver, platinum, things like that. So all of my metals, I like to match them. If you're going to be a gold man and you like warmer tones, then go ahead and go for gold. Now, mixing them up a bit, just understand that it may get a little bit more complicated. It's just something that if you understand the rule, I like to keep it simple, but if you want to break it, go for it. So we've talked about the 5 rules there. And again, I go into more detail in the article here. Now let me talk about the symbolism and the meaning for each finger. Now, I also have another video here. I've talked about this a couple years ago. I go into a lot of detail in this video. However, quickly, I'm going to go over it now. So the thumb. The thumb is traditionally symboled your character. And, so if you had a straight thumb, straight character, too crooked of a thumb, you were actually believed to be crooked. Now, when it comes to rings, rings on the thumb are very rare. They used to historically, if you go back to Asia, whenever a bowman, he would pull back on the string of a bow, he actually used to have a thumb ring, which would help him do that. But nowadays, very rare. If you do wear one on your thumb, it's considered to be more of a creative field, if you want to bring that in. But it being on your thumb, it may feel a little bit odd, so it would be something you're going to want to get used to. Now let's get to the pinky. The pinky is associated with the god Mercury. It's also associated with intelligence. So that if you want to wear a pinky finger, that could be something that you could bring in, something that maybe has a small family crest on it. Now, for some reason, it's associated with crime bosses and mafia. I don't know. I wasn't able to find, it may be something that they picked up. I think a man can wear it tastefully. The key with these 2 fingers and why I started with them though is that they're on the edges of the hand. Anything you wear here will be easier to see and therefore will be a little bit flashier. So I like to keep them down a little bit. Now let's talk about the index finger. Traditionally, this was a finger that many noblemen, kings, dukes, senators, they would wear rings on this finger. It is the finger of power and it's associated with the god Jupiter, hence the king of the gods. I think if you're going to wear a class ring or if you're going to wear a family ring, this is also a ring you can consider. You could also wear it on the same hand and it would be a bit balanced. You would have a little bit of space between them. Now let's get to the middle finger. This is associated with Saturn and it really stands about for basically being balanced. Now let's get to the ring finger. The ring finger, traditionally in the Western world, in the left hand, it has been associated with Romanticism, with the moon. It's also associated with creativity. Again, Eastern Orthodox Church, Ukraine, I wear it over here, but for most of people in North America, they're going to wear it over here, their wedding ring. You also see sometimes engagement rings. Now, I know a lot of you guys have more questions about, okay, Antonio, types of rings, metals, stones, all those details. I'm going to go into more detail right here in this article. Go check it out. And guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on rings? Should men be able to wear multiple rings? Do you wear multiple rings? Love to hear from you guys. I'll see you in the comments. Take care. See you in the next video.